All right. Now it's there on your cell phone screens as well or laptop screens, whatever you are using. So our topic is why do new businesses often fail? This is the topic of today's lesson from where we'll start. Let's begin uh, this. So one of the reason I'll ask you also, but let's discuss few of them first. That what is the reason of failure of businesses? One is lack of record keeping. Now, this is one of the important factors which can lead a business to a failure. Now, what does it mean? What do we record? Normally, businesses record their financial transactions, right? So, whatever amount of money they receive by selling goods and services, they need to have a record of it. And whatever amount they spend, again they need to have a record of it. Why it is important? Because businesses need to know how much amount of money is leaving the business and how much amount of money is coming into the business. It's not only essential for calculating profit, right? Although profit is the primary objective of every private business, but apart from that, the business needs to know whether they have sufficient amount of cash to meet their daily expenses or not. Because you know that as a business, you have to meet daily expenses such as payment of wages to workers, utility bills, payment of raw material, rent of the building, and other administration costs. So, if, for example, you are not having a record of it, that how much money is going out and how much money is coming into the business, you might end up running out of ready cash. Now, when I say ready cash, it means which is readily available. You can use it anytime, right? For example, you hear all of a sudden that now there is not much stock available. For example, not much raw material available, right? So you need to have certain amount of cash so that you can buy raw material immediately. It will help your production to continue, and as a business you will be able to meet the demands of your customers timely, right? So record keeping is extremely important for every business, especially for large businesses, because they have huge financial transactions, right? For smaller businesses it is important too, and if obviously they won't keep a record of it, there'll be a problem. I told you why. One, business is suffering loss and you have no idea. Why? Because you are not keeping a record of it, how much money is coming in the form of revenue. Revenue, I told you, revenue is the amount of money which business obtains by selling goods and services, right? And how much money is going out of the business in the form of expenses, right? So if business does not know about it, business may end up suffering loss, but business may not have any idea about it, right? So there will be a problem, because by the time when business will realize it, it will be too late. So you know that there is a very famous proverb is there also. It is no use crying over spilt milk. So if you do not keep a record, and so when by the time you will realize it, it will be too late, and it will lead business to a failure. Similarly, you might end up running out of cash and you have no idea. But if you have a record, you can realize that we may end up running out of cash in the future. So you can arrange that cash beforehand, right? Otherwise, again, even if the profit is there, what happens that business may not have sufficient amount of ready cash available and unable to meet the daily expenses. Imagine if you do not pay your supplier for the amount of raw material you buy, there is a problem. If you do not pay wages to workers timely, there is a problem. If you do not pay rent to the owner of the building, again there is a problem. So your business activity will put to a halt. Supplier won't supply to you, workers won't work, and the owner of the building won't allow you to run your business activity in the same building without paying rent. So eventually it will lead to a business failure. So I explained you in detail about this point how it can lead to a business failure. Let's move on to another factor which can lead to a business failure, that is risk of new business startups. Now, in this case, what happens? You know that whenever you start a new business, there is always a risk. Risk is all the time attached with the business. You know that. But for new businesses, it may be a little bit higher. What is the reason? That is my question from you, right? I'll explain it later. So, Fatma Zulfikar, can you explain me why the element of risk is higher for new business startups? Fatma? Fatma Zulfikar, can you answer? I guess Fatma might have a problem. Okay, Isra. Isra, can you answer my question?
Sir, I just joined your class. I don't know the question.
Okay, my question is okay, listen to my question first. My question is why element of risk is higher, especially for new business startups? Why there is more risk? Any idea, Isra? Isra, are you there?
Yes, sir.
So, no idea. Doesn't matter. You can say, sir, I do not know, but you have to respond, right?
Sir, maybe because they don't know that if the business will succeed or not, because it's a
Okay.
new business.
All right. Very good. It means one thing is there is high amount of uncertainty prevailing there, that whether people would like to buy from you or not, because you do not have any past experience of it. So yes, that is why element of risk will be higher. There could be another point as well. So I want now Hira Javed to answer. Hira, any other factor which enhances the risk for new business startups?
So there might be competition or a well-established business which might
A-
affect this business.
Bullseye. Absolutely right. Very good, Hira. Thank you very much. Why? Because when you start a new business, there might be some existing businesses operating there in that market or in that area. And they might be well established and they might have a very good brand image. And people are so loyal to them that they keep on buying from them, right? So if a new business is there, despite the fact they have a better quality, people might not like to switch because they are so brand conscious now. Think about if new cell phone comes in with a new name ABC. So will you like to buy that by switching from Apple to that phone or switching from Samsung to that phone? Obviously, it's not that easy. You first have to create an image in the mind of the people so that they can start buying from you. And for that, a lot of time is required and lot of money needs to be spent on promotion of the product. You know that. So maybe for smaller businesses, it's not easy to spend that much huge amount. And sometimes those already existing well established businesses, they give them a very tough time. How? Because they are well established. So they might come up with a offer. For example, they might reduce the price of their cell phones, or they might come up with some lucrative offers that if you buy our cell phones, you can win lots of prizes, or maybe some other kind of promotional offer. So in that way, if the brand is already established and they are coming up with an offer as well, so people will keep on buying the same brand and they won't like to buy that new brand at all. So that is a huge risk for new businesses, especially in the market where there are already well established businesses available. Because well established businesses do not like a new business to compete with them in the same market. Why? Because obviously it may snatch their customers from them. Eventually, they may lose sales. So that is one of the biggest problem at the start, that they need to spend time and money to enhance the image of their brand. So and it's not possible for every business. So sooner or later they try to do it, but because tough time is given by the well established businesses, so eventually they close down their business. All right. So now the third point, lack of working capital. Um, I think I know that business students, they know about this term, so I want Lareb Furkan to answer. Lareb, please explain what is working capital and how, if it lacks, it leads to a business failure.
Working capital is the money used for daily expenses. So if there is lack of working capital, they might not be able to pay their expenses and keep the business operational.
Very good. Thank you very much. Excellent answer. So that's right. I did explain that while explaining the first point. Working capital, as the name suggests, the capital or the amount of money which keeps on working, right? So it doesn't stay there with the business for a longer time period. So it means it can be ready cash, right? So you might need it all the time. So for meeting your daily expenses, as Larib said, that you have to pay wages to your workers, you have to pay to the supplier for the raw material, you have to pay utility bills, right? So for that you need to have sufficient amount of cash available. If it is not available, and it why it happens? It happens when you do not keep a record of it. I told you earlier. So it means the first and third point, they are quite interlinked. When you do not keep a record, what happens eventually, you experience lack of working capital. And when you fail to meet uh, to make the payment to suppliers, to make the payment to workers, or to make the payment to bank, for example, in case of a loan, you have to pay interest rate on monthly basis or annual basis, right? So obviously the business is likely to fail. Okay, because okay, then it's easy. So any student who faces any problem regarding third point, lack of working capital, you can ask me. I can wait for a few seconds.
सर लेकिन आपने कहा था कि कैश फ्लो प्रॉब्लम से कभी भी बिजनेस फेल नहीं होता.
I did say that when.
सर ओ लेवल्स में तो यही पढ़ रहा था कि कैश फ्लो प्रॉब्लम से बिजनेस फेल नहीं होता.
No, I think, okay, let me explain that. In O levels, actually, the question was, or the question which used to come in the past papers, that was whether it is profit is more important, or working capital, or the cash flow, or the cash, right? So I told you that business can survive without profit for a certain time period if they have cash available. I can give you an example. For example, business is running at a loss, but they have borrowed money from somewhere to survive, right? So despite suffering loss, they are able to run their business activity with the amount of money they borrowed, right? But let's imagine if business is earning profit, but right now business has not received the amount of money in the form of cash, right? This is what we call lack of working capital. And there is another term, cash flow problem. The other students, they are not familiar with it, but doesn't matter. We'll cover that in the later part of the syllabus. So it means cash, whenever there is lack of working capital, business is bound to close down. But if business is not suffering, if business is not earning profit, business can survive for some time period. So that was the explanation I gave there as well. Faria, still you have a confusion?
No, sir, thank you.
All right, okay. So now, fourth point is over expansion. I want somebody to explain the term, what is over expansion. So let's say, Razeen Ishfaq, can you answer what is over expansion?
when business tries to expand too quickly.
Okay, very good. Thank you. All right. So if business tries to expand too quickly, let me explain that, and then Razeen, you will explain me how it will lead to business failure. Or okay, can you explain it before I explain how overexpansion leads to business failure? Razeen.
So the business might overestimate its product potential, that growing your business might reach out to a lot of customers, but it requires planning, and the business might not be able to achieve that.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Thank you. It's relevant. Okay. Now, as Razeen said, overexpansion means when you try to expand too quickly. Now, what does it mean? One thing is when you try to expand too quickly, it means you do not plan for it because planning requires time. Planning is time consuming. So, when you're expanding too quickly, it means you are not planning for it. And when you do not plan, you are bound to make mistakes sooner or later. That is one point, which is which was explained by Razeen as well. Now, another thing, let me explain you. For example, you open a shop, for example, a retail shop, where you are able to entertain 500 customers, right? At the moment, you are entertaining only 50 customers. Okay, it means the shop is not working at its full capacity. The workers who are hired, some workers, they are lying idle. They are not doing anything because right now there are 50 customers which are being entertained on daily basis, for example. But the capacity is to deal 500 customers. Okay, so now you have to plan for that. You need to do something so that 500 customers will start visiting your shop to buy something. So what do? Even if there are only 50 customers which come to visit your shop in a day, you start opening another shop or you open another shop in some other area. So what happens? Now your expenditure starts increasing because now you have more workers, you have more administrative staff, then you might have to pay rent of the building as well, transportation cost, right? But you are not earning sufficient amount of revenue because from the first shop you should have been able to earn revenue from 500 customers, but right now you are only getting money from 50 customers. So it means you are not getting enough revenue to support any kind of expansion. So what will happen? Your expenditure will increase because of opening of that shop, and eventually what will happen? You will run out of ready cash. Again, it means you might face working capital problem or there will be a lack of working capital. So again, you might not be able to meet the daily expenses of your existing shop or a new shop. So that is why whenever you expand, you plan for it because when you expand, there are certain expenditures. So you plan how these expenditures will be met, how finance should be raised. Either we will borrow money from the bank or we'll sell some of our assets. So you need to think about it first and then you think of expanding your business. So when this is not there, let me finish. When this is not there, we call it overexpansion and it leads to business failure. Yes, Hira, please.
Sir, can we mention diseconomies of scale in this point?
You can, but okay, but then you have to relate it because diseconomies of scale means your average cost starts increasing. So it may lead to reduced profit, but it may not lead to business failure. If you are able to develop
Sir,
that point, yeah, please.
सर अगर हम डिसइकोनॉमीज ऑफ स्केल में बता दें कि ओवर एक्सपेंशन से पुअर मैनेजमेंट होगी क्योंकि बहुत ज्यादा आउटलेट्स खुल जाएंगे तो उससे भी तो बिजनेस फेल हो सकता है.
Fine, very right. So that is why I'm telling you this economy of scale only explain that there will be a rise in the average cost of the business because of poor management, right? But then eventually you have to develop your point to the end. you need to extend it so that you can relate it with business failure. If you are able to do it, it's perfectly fine. No issues at all. All right. Let's have a look at this next point. Poor management skills. So now it's there. Now, it's not diseconomies of scale. Do remember. Do you know how it is different? Because diseconomies of scale means when the business size is so large, or maybe there are so many shops, that the top level management is not able to supervise all of the shops or the business branches. That may lead to poor management. But poor management skills means when you start your business, you do not have any past experience of running that business. So whatever your estimation is or was, or your calculation was, it might prove to be wrong because you had no experience behind you. So that could lead to a business failure as well. You, for example, estimated a certain amount of money which would be required to run your business at least for a month. But eventually the amount required was a lot more than that. So there will be a problem. Similarly, you planned that, okay, we'll be able to manage 50 workers easily. But then what happened that all of a sudden the customers, they demanded your product. Why? Because they liked your product. And then you had to increase your workers from 50 to 150 within the same month. So again, there could be a problem because now you do not know how to do it because this is your first time and your calculation proved to be wrong. Your estimation proved to be wrong. So it may lead to a business failure because now there will be a lot of customers who will be annoyed because their demands would not be met because you have very fewer staff, or maybe the staff is not trained for that to entertain customers. So eventually customers may leave and they might switch to your rival business and they may never come back to you again. So eventually your business will be a complete failure. Okay. Next point is failure to adapt changes in the business environment. So now, before I explain this, I have a question. Do you know what is a business environment? Hamza bin Farooq. Hamza, can you explain me? What is business environment? Any idea? Hamza, are you there? I think he has a problem with his mic. Yes, Hamza, please. I think he has an issue. Okay. Bilal Jamil. Bilal, can you comment on that? Do you know what is a business environment?
Sir, a business environment is, building a relationship between the customers. The environment of a business to build a relationship between the customers.
Okay, all right. I'll comment on it later.